Let's talk about the value of the four main notes that we described previously. Now remember, the four of them were semibreves, minims, crotchets and quavers. So let's start with a semibreve. So remember, a semibreve is normally just drawn as a circle and it's worth 4 beats. So we'll say that's 4. Now please, I'm going to call them a semibreve, but you do need to remember that it's called a semibreve and a whole note. Both names are important. Now if we come down from that, the next one in size is the one that's just a circle with a stem, and if you remember, that was called a minim. Now this is half the size of that one. So if it's half of 4, it's going to be worth 2 beats. Now the next one down from that looks very similar, except it's coloured in, and it's half the size again, so it's going to be worth 1 beat. And then there's one down from that one, has a little tail on it, and it's half the size again, so it's worth half of a beat. So that's the four main values of notes that we have in music. There are others, but we'll just stick with those at the moment. Now we could do some basic mathematics and go, well, if a minim is 2, it's going to be equal in size to a crotchet plus a crotchet. Now music is quite mathematical. It is good to understand this. So if I said to you, this one, how many of those would be equal to that? You'd naturally go, well, that'll be 4. This one down here, if that's half of a beat, you would need 2 of these to equal one of those. So if I said how many of these quavers is going to equal a minim, the answer would be 4. How many of those would equal one of those? And the answer would be 8. Now we can combine these into any amounts we want, but we just got to always remember the numerical value of each one. 4, 2, 1 and half. So that's the values of our notes.